to round 13 action here at George Andrews Reserve. Dandenong Thunder hosts Preston Lions tonight. To the two-team lineups. Preston Lions, number 1, Lucas Trenkowski. Number 9, Giorgio Santanis. Number 11, Jonas Markowski. Number 12, Jake Trenkowski. Number 14, Marcus Strowan. Number 15, Matthew Bazanovsky. Number 17, Jason Romero. Number 19, Oliver Kulimuli. Number 21, Adrian Valenti. Number 32, Stefan Negro. And number 77, Gian Albano. Substitutes for Preston Lions. Number 2, Dominic Foligno. Number 4, Aaron Anderson. Number 8, Luke Jago. Number 10, Connor Bell. Number 16, Bon Scott. And number 22, Brad Lawton. To the home team, Dandenong Thunder. Number 1, Jamie Young. Number 3, Daniel Alessi. Number 5, Messi Mavit. 6, Aiden Edwards. Number 7, Yuki Ushida. Number 8, Kyle Taylor. Number 9, Wade Decker. Number 10, Daniel Clark. Number 14, Hassan Jolla. Number 15, Tass Vanna Morgan. And number 24, Benjamin Juba. Substitutes for Dandenong Thunder. Number 4, Stevie Ismaili. Number 2, Lyra Melmazi. Number 12,
test 1 2, test 1 2, test 1 2.
Number 19, Jock Akuen. Number 22, Rahul Suresh. And number 32, Benjamin McCauley. Hope you enjoy the game and go Thunder.
This is all I had to do for the last one. So I knew it was Mametti's 150th because I did number 149 last week. And I looked at it, I'm like, it's too right. Once he gets injured, 150 is
Testing 1 2.
Major sponsor, Rapid Start AI. Entertainment Projects, SR Group, Anton Jewelry, Harley Flowers, Nassau and Sons.
Keep going.
Especially Property Developments, Alicia, Royal Snacks, Malika Group. Terry Flowers, Willie Melbourne, Ridgeway Flowers, A&A Muir & Sons, Marla Group, Better Haulage, Health on the Run.
Good evening, and it's a very loud one in Dandenong prior to kick-off here from the commentary box. We'll be muted momentarily before Thunderstruck finishes, and then we'll have kick-off, team sheets, and hopefully we can give you a rather lovely game this evening. It's a cold night, a very crisp one. It's a lot to play for, third against fifth in the table. Good evening wherever you are watching around Victoria, across the country, or indeed worldwide, and welcome back to the National Premier League. We are at the halfway stage of the season for both of these sides as of the conclusion tonight. I'm Ethan Rigg, and welcome to Dandenong on a crisp and crucial Saturday evening. The Thunder come into it third with the opportunity to go 2 points from the summit if they are to be victorious over a Preston side who are in fine form themselves. Unbeaten in the league in the month of April, and although they were knocked out of the cup on a truly wild evening in Whittlesea in the week, they will be looking to rebound and draw themselves ever closer to the top of the tree and cement their place in the finals position even further. What a wonderful evening of football we have ahead of us. A truly, truly massive game between two clubs whose fixtures against each other have well and truly been rare. This is the first time since 2009 that Dandenong Thunder have faced Preston Lions. What a wonderful job everybody has done to make this an occasion worthy of that weight when the fixtures were announced. And it promises to be a truly huge night ahead. And as we mentioned, what a difference 24 hours makes in the world of the NPL. Heidelberg go top of the tree after they were victorious yesterday eve. Avondale battered at Green Gully, meaning they dropped to second. And the Dandenong Thunder now can pick up the pieces, climb into the top two, and keep the pressure on the leaders. Home, of course, is where the heart is for them. Unbeaten on this turf so far. And although they were held by St Albans last time out, it will feel like 2 points dropped. But what better way to remedy that than with yet another win? For Preston, this has not been their most favourable hunting ground. They have never beaten Dandenong Thunder on the road and haven't beaten this side since the turn of the millennium. Although history is there to be broken, and how this group of Lions would love to do that this evening. A truly huge evening we have ahead of us here in Melbourne South East. And before we go to kick-off, let's take you through the lineups. For the Thunder, Jamie Young starts in between the sticks. Daniel Alessi. Masim Mehmeti starts his 150th game. Aidan Edwards returns to midfield. Yuki Yoshida, Kyle Taylor, Wade Decker, Daniel Clark. Hassan Jallo leads the line. Tis Van Amerongen and Ben Jiba. And for Preston, Lucas Trenkowski starts in between the sticks. Giorgio Sardenis, Jonas Markowski, Drake Tchaikovsky, Marcus Schroen, Matthew Bozanovsky, Jason Romero, Oliver Kubalai, Adrian Valetti, Stefan Negro, and Gian Albano, as Yuki Yoshida is looking to drift down the right-hand side. But he's well and truly flying. Edwards rolls it for Alessi. And now out to Jamie Young. What an atmosphere we have at George Andrews this evening, as Masim Mehmeti clips one into the channel for Hassan Jallo to give chase. He's looking to turn. Jallo for an early goal. Trenkowski called into early action. Up to the task with a crucial save. But the Thunder looking to fly out the traps. Throw in taken quickly. Taylor darted down the line. Clark looked to find him, and they will reset for a throw-in. A golden opportunity for Hassan Jallo to land an early blow, as Clark just fizzed across the face, deep to the back post. The Thunder go in front. Turned into their own net by Preston. Jeeva's the one wheeling away. And inside 2 minutes, the Dandenong Thunder fire ahead. A devilish ball whipped to the back post. Preston didn't deal with it. And Dandenong make them pay early. Having flown out of the traps, the Thunder lands the first blow. How did Preston respond? And listen to this place. The Lions need to respond quickly. Alessi was up well. Schroen flicked it in. Now Kubalai. Strong challenge from Jiba. Decker tried to make it work. Negro did wonderfully to win in. He might have a chance to maraud forward. Stefan Negro rolls it wide. Can Preston get themselves level almost immediately? Mehmeti put a stop to any further advancements. The dream start for those in red and black. And the visitors, as so often in the past on this ground, need a response. Romero tried to clip one in the channel. The Thunder bodies surrounded him. Decker was the one who darts away with it. Yoshida's stolen a march, and they have the entire right wing on the switch. Jiba's also advanced. Jiba driving along. Albano tried to make the challenge. Yoshida now. Just another teasy ball to the back post. Decker's unmarked. Flick for Jallo. Jiba at the back stick. And the Thunder make it 2 in a matter of minutes. Preston thunderstruck. The Dandenong Thunder can hardly believe the start they've had. Jiba caused the problem for the first, then drifted in and smashed one in for the second. Two inside 4 minutes. Preston caught out on the break. Decker drifted his way through. It was a lovely switch to Jiba. Held it up for Yoshida. Stood it up to the back stick again. Jiba continued his run and fired into the roof of Trenkovski's net. And having landed the first blow, Preston hit with a quick 1-2 punch. And in desperate need of a reply, now just to half the deficit. Valenti for Tchaikovsky. The Lions rocked as Valenti. Back for Tchaikovsky again. The Thunder wanted to fly out of the traps. You could see them press high. Well and truly, a start better than they could have thought possible. And you could listen to this place when the first went in. How about the second? And Edwards looking to lead the press. Bozinovski all the way back for Trenkovsky, who has to clear. Sardinis tried to make a challenge of it. Van Amerongen got up highest, got it back from Edwards, clipped it to Decker, who rolled it for Clark. Schroen did well to win in. Markovsky now has a chance to drive. Tried to roll it into the path instead. The flag went up. And we have a correction on that opening goal. Ben Jiba has an early brace. The fullback with 85 minutes to play already hat-trick hunting as Jay Romero tried to slide Markovsky in. Marched his way beyond the last man a touch early. As Jamie Young tries to draw this Preston side into a press. Lovely ball for Yoshida. Pressed by Valenti, but turned away from him. All Valenti could do was pull his shirt back, and the Thunder have a free kick. Edwards took it quickly for Taylor. Back for Alessi. Now Van Amerongen. And for Alessi again. And after a frantic opening 5 minutes, this game might be drawn to a hush, but Yoshida has other ideas. Stolen a march on the right, tried to fire one in for Jallo. Tchaikovsky crucially in the way, and the Thunder have a corner as a result. Preston completely and utterly shell-shocked. As the Thunder with yet another maraud forward. Caught them out, and Tchaikovsky had to get in the way. It's a crucial block. Hassan Jallo was darting his way towards the centre. It's Mehmeti's take, lofted towards the back post. Alessi got round the back! His header drifts just over the net. It's a corner tactic they've used so often this season. It's readily deployed. So frequently last week as well, when Alessi got round the back and Nodded it into a dangerous area for Decker to provide the opener. This time got a free jump unmarked. Schroen. Now Valenti. Really looked to loft it down the line. So Dennis gave chase, but the Thunder ushered it out of play. Jeeba's throw among that travelling Preston contingent. Jallo tried to take it down. It was hustled by two Lions. Valenti was the one who made the challenge in the end. Ball down the line, look for Albano, whose touch was just a bit too heavy. Jallo got up, Valenti with him. Jeeba happy to let it run out of play. Long loft down the line. Tchaikovsky flicked it on. Tchaikovsky and Negro had a little bit of a mix-up. Negro cleared it. Alessi got his head in the way. Valenti stuck a leg out. Cleared it only as far as Taylor. Whipped it wide for Yoshida, who'd gone a fraction too early. He was coming back anyway. And Schroen for Valenti and Preston. Already two down, but they have plenty of time to get themselves back into it. They can't panic. They must keep their cool. Valenti only cleared it into Yoshida. Jallo made a challenge of it. Jeeba won it for Edwards. Gave it back to Ben Jeeba. Now Alessi. All the way home for Young. Alessi once more. Thunder settle into their shape. Young sprays one wide for Yoshida again. Valenti got up. Edwards shielded. Turned away from Romero. Went home to Alessi and now Jamie Young. Van Amarongam. Mehmeti lofted it into the channel for Clark, who nodded it on wonderfully for Wade Decker. Wriggled his way beyond Negro. Clark tried to go again. And the Thunder will have another corner. Wave on wave in these opening 10 minutes. Preston looking to ride out a storm, having been thunderstruck twice. Have another corner to defend. It is Taylor's take. Once again with loft towards Alessi at the back post. Nodded it centrally. It might fall for Yuki Yoshida. A crucial touch in the way and Preston will have a free kick. Jason Romero did ever so well. As Yuki Yoshida was getting ready to launch another strike towards Tchaikovsky. That was crucial. Preston can't afford to go another goal down. The evening won't be a write-off, but it will be an even longer way back. Romero only turned himself into trouble. Jallo picked his pocket. Clark rolled it back for him. That's a crucial clearance again. Truly last-ditch defending as Edwards recycled for Alessi. Now Jeeba. Turned his way beyond Albano. Went home for Alessi. Young. Van Amarongam. Taylor. And having gotten off to one of the quickest starts you will see, this game has now settled in. Simmering and sizzling as Preston go high for the first time. Van Amerongen's found by Young. He's able to carry towards halfway. And options left and right. Taylor took it on the turn. Has Jeeba wide. Taylor's continuing to drive. Might open up for Kyle Taylor, who crashes it against the bar. Preston have to clear their lines, but nobody got near him. Had Jeeba drifting, acting as a decoy, allowed him to unleash a fierce shot, which thundered against the crossbar. And their 2-goal lead nearly was 3. Jallo for Decker. Yoshida might be able to get in the way. Valenti was taking no risks. Cleared for another corner. The Thunder looking to treble their advantage inside a quarter of an hour. A first 15 of football that's flown by. Taylor's corner. Fist to the near post. Clark got a flick. Off the post and in. Clark's flick went all the way through. What are we witnessing in Dandenong? The Thunder have absolutely roared their way into a 3-0 lead. And the Lions are limping. Hassan Jallo wheeled away. Clark darted at the near post, flicked it goalwards, and Hassan Jallo got the final touch. His 8th of the season, and already a quarter of an hour in, Dandenong Thunder lead Preston by 3. You just cannot explain what's happening here. Van Amerongen mopped up that long ball. Taylor sold Decker into trouble. They can't clear it. Yoshida cut it out. Jallo and Clark. Yoshida's marching through the middle. Has Valenti to beat. Yoshida danced his way. Valenti made the block, but Thunder on the break again. Have a corner. Preston being picked apart. Another Thunder corner. Mehmeti to take. Lofts it to the back post again. Nearly went all the way in. A teasing ball. He wanted to get involved in game 150. Maybe a touch too adventurous. Van Amerongen was marauding round the back, but it had too much loft to find him. What can Preston find? Trankowski goes long. Jiba got up. Drop for Valenti. Edwards on the press inside. Strip Romero of it. Albano won it. Jallo. For Taylor, the switch is on. Decker's down the left side. Taylor looking to drive again. Rolls it wide for Decker. Drifted for Clark. Crucial touch by Bozanovsky. And that's a lovely ball down the line. Sedanis gained ground but couldn't get beyond Van Amerongen. And maybe, just maybe, for Preston they might have some respite, albeit momentarily. Bozanovsky for Schroen. Now Valenti. Albano. Tried to drift inside. Yoshida came and gave Jiba some help. Came away with it. His ball given away. Romero. For Kubalai. Bozanovsky. Romero's dropped deep. That's a lovely ball out wide. And Preston now being able to exercise some football of their own. It's Bozanovsky. Negro. Lovely ball down the line. Markowski Tried to get away from Mehmeti. Blocked his first effort. Markowski might have another go. Rolled it back for Stefan Negro. Nearly ran out of room. Now Kubalai. That's a teasing ball to the back post. Alessi didn't take any risks. Got up highest. Yoshida hustled by Romero. And in the end, Yuki Yoshida does rather well to keep it. We are not even 20 minutes in. And already, this game is fizzling. Jiba's throw in. Albano did well. Kubalai tried to give it back to him. Jiba hooked it away anywhere. Valenti for Schroen. Now Bozanovsky. Preston need to pull one back. That's a lovely ball from Kubalai. Young quickly off his line. And happy to claim. Flag was up anyway. Albano just went a moment too early. But there is pure disbelief in Dandenong as to what both sets of fans have seen in this opening 20 minutes. There is still, of course, plenty of time to turn it around. Taylor hooked it clear. Trenkovsky ventured. It's worked wide to Valenti. Now Tchaikovsky for Bozanovsky. Tries to clip one down the line. That's a teasing ball. Wonderfully taken down as well by Markovsky. Tried to drift the ball over towards Albano. Edwards got in the way, and Jamie Young soaks up every second he can before claiming. Young hustled. Gave it for Taylor, who teased one down the line for Jiba. Got away from Valenti. Options arriving. Yoshida's on the edge. So to roll it back for Yuki Yoshida. And it was wonderfully tracked. Schroen gives it to Albano. Preston might be able to go on the break. Gian Albano drifts inside. Rolls it for Stefan Negro. Now down the line for Markovsky. Ball deflected into the palms of Jamie Young. But that kind of adventure, that kind of fearlessness in going forward is something Preston need to show more of if they are to chip away at this Thunder deficit and maybe, just maybe, create some angst and a bit of nerves in Dandenong. As Clark's pocket is picked. He then in turn did wonderfully well to win it back. Lofted it for Yoshida. Valenti one in. Schroen. Preston work it out wonderfully. Kubalai, that's a beauty of a ball for Albano, who had gone a touch too early once again. That Dandenong Thunder defensive line holding firm. Of course, we mentioned Preston have never won at this ground. They've never beaten the Thunder on the road. It would take a performance for the ages to turn this around and to earn a point or an elusive 3. The Thunder in complete control at the moment. Young for Alessi. Tried to clip it for Yoshida. Tchaikovsky was there to clean up, and the Thunder have a throw. Jiba down the line. Jallo tried to turn. Preston will have it. You can see the urgency. Valenti's throw. They want to restart in a hurry. Tchaikovsky only got it to Jiba. Yoshida did wonderfully to skip his way beyond one. Jallo just drifting back from an offside position. Couldn't get back in time. Valenti. Tchaikovsky. Trenkovsky. And now Bozanovsky for Schroen. Clipped it. Edwards mopped up. Albano picked his pocket. Has a chance to drift away. Albano. Alessi got a touch. Now Jay Romero. Jason Romero trying to dance beyond Chiba. Works it back for Markowski. Lofted one towards the back stick. Decker got up. Now Bozanovsky. Preston's first real opportunity to pen the Thunder in. He searched for Albano. Chiba got up highest. Anywhere will do for Yoshida. Can only clear it as far as Valenti. Jallo's giving chase. And as a result, Tchaikovsky has to go all the way back home. Valenti. Lovely clip into the channel. And Sir Dennis did well. Tried to fire one in. Alessi in the way, and it will be a throw-in from the deepest possible position for Preston. Can they get themselves an avenue back? Romero for Tchaikovsky. Bozanovsky. It's a lovely ball from Schroen. Wide for Albano, flags up again. Frustration for those in white. As every time they try and work a yard down that far side, the flag follows. But that's better from Preston. The Lions' best period of possession. And maybe some nerves finally settling. Having been hit by an early Thunder flurry. Clark's flick on. Schroen had Edwards for company. Yoshida came to join him. Schroen did superbly to keep that. Back for Tchaikovsky. Just unable to break that press through midfield, and it's where the Thunder have been able to pick off and go their own way so many times. That ball for Romero. Edwards was the one who came away with it. Rolled it back for Alessi. Sedenas hot on his heels. Young for Van Amerongen. Now Mehmeti. Tried to loft it into the channel. Negro took it down well. Edwards one up. Clark. Mehmeti. Tried to find Taylor down the line. Could only find touch. And all as well and truly settled as Bozanovsky switched for Valenti. Albano did wonderfully. Drifted inside away from Jiba. Clip one for Sir Dennis to give chase. Hot on Alessi's heels. He wasn't taking any chances in going home. Hooked it clear. Preston pressure now maybe paying off. Albano trying to drift onto that left foot. Chiba in the way. Yoshida. Valenti at his back. Yuki Yoshida again. Clips it off him and keeps it for the Thunder. What a start to this game. 3 up inside a quarter of an hour. And had a couple other chances where Trenkovsky was called upon and did well. Preston now finding their groove a little bit. Romero wins a free kick. And the Lions have an opportunity to load it forward. Both centre-halves commit. A goal back from this may just open the door. Romero's free kick, lofted it towards the back stick, but too tall for anybody to get on the end of it. It's a precious set-piece opportunity. The first real look they've had to try and stand something up towards the Dandenong Thunder in this first half. And when they've been at a premium like that for Preston, you can't go wasting them. That's a lovely ball from Young to find Yoshida. Now Alessi. Yuki Yoshida, who's dropped in. Van Amerongen. Young pressed by Sir Dennis. Taylor. Van Amerongen, the Preston press now in full swing. Alessi lofted it up the line for Yoshida. Tried to get away and won a free kick under Kubalai's challenge. That frustration at the opening just boiling over for the Lions. It hasn't gone their way from the start. As we approach nearly half an hour played. Lessie's free kick. That's a wonderful switch for Decker, who took it down. Return to Mehmeti. Tried to go with the outside to find Taylor. Well read by the Lions, but in the end, Mehmeti ushered it wonderfully out of play. Wanted to go quickly again for Edwards. Now Van Amerongen. Jamie Young danced beyond Romero. Edwards took it on the turn. Yoshida tried to flick round the corner. Made up for it as Albano bared down. Jiba wants to drive down the line. Instead tried to roll it for Hassan Jallo. Albano, Schroen. Tchaikovsky. Valenti. All the way back again. Can Preston take a risk and pierce their way through this Thunder midfield? Valenti, Romero, lovely turn. Switching ball for Markowski. It grows on the overlap, and via a deflection it will find him. Markowski's continued his run. He tried to clip it into the channel for him. And Van Amerongen swept across and cleared any danger. Preston throw. Taken for Markowski. Negro trying to drift away. Markowski again. They nearly sort themselves out. Clark hooks it clear. Only into touch, and Preston can load again. A goal before half-time would be so crucial. The sooner it comes for those in white, the better. Just to cause any nerves, any bit of uncertainty, to open the door, which so far has been slammed shut by a Thunder side who have been faultless. They do have a free kick, and once again an opportunity to load it into the box. First free kick too long. What does the second opportunity present for Preston? Valenti's take drifted it into Taylor, who cleared. Edwards touched it back. Taylor clipped him round the corner. Jallo's on with a hoof. Edwards did wonderfully well. Worked it for Decker. Now Taylor. And they beat the press once more to the Thunder. Taylor with time. Decker drops it for Van Amerongen. Alessi. Decker, loose touch. Alessi tries to make it work. Romero stuck a foot in. Did wonderfully well to flick it over him. Decker in strongly enough to concede a throw and nothing else. Valenti down the line. Edwards came to clip it away from Albano and help Jeeba out. Taken quickly for Romero. Now Valenti stood one up wonderfully. Markovski got up highest. Mehmeti does just enough to put him off. And Preston creating a few opportunities to get one back. Their best spell this last 10 minutes or so. Showcase the real fearlessness. Not afraid to go at this Thunder side now. Alessi from Jamie Young. Hooks it clear over towards us. Alessi taking no chances. Valenti has another throw. It's it down the line. Kubalai took a touch but ran out of room. Thunder will have a throw. This only the 9th meeting between these two sides. The Thunder controlled the leisure, 6 wins to 2, and if it were to stay like this, it would be 7. And an all-important 3 points. The Jeeba's throw down the line. Yoshida got away. Tchaikovsky did wonderfully. It's it all the way back for Trenkovsky. Now Bozinovsky. Jason Romero. Drifted beyond Jallo, tried to whip one down the line. Yoshida got in the way. Edwards gave it back to him. They've worked it out wonderfully. Edwards opens up to find Taylor. Mehmeti's drifted into a pocket. Has Decker down the line. Mehmeti. Decker took a loose touch trying to find Clark. Preston recycle again. Trenkovsky just a bit tentative. Ball took a bounce and a bobble. Tchaikovsky carries. Jeeba cut out his ball to find Albano. Albano did well to win it back. Schroen for him once more. Face to face with Edwards. Albano dances indoors. Beautiful ball into the feet of Sir Dennis. Van Amerongen all the way back for Young. Clipped it for Hassan Jallo. Played it to Valenti. And once more they recycle. Dandenong Thunder just dropping deeper into a more set defensive shape. Inviting Preston onto them. Having hit so devastatingly on the counter. It's Albano. The drift beyond Jeeba took a loose touch. Thunder throw again. It's an amazing crowd we have in this evening at George Andrews, and they've been in full voice so far. That travelling contingent from the north. I've seen an improved period from their Lions. Having been hit early, Trenkovsky lofts it high. Jeeba got goal side of Albano. Clark clipped it for Edwards. Now Van Amerongen. All the way back for Young. Lofted it only to Albano. Took a loose touch which stopped him from getting away. Yoshida and Clark compete. Clark's the one who comes away with it. Preston make the most of it and give away a free kick. Bozinovsky tried to bulldoze his way beyond Daniel Clark. Thunder free kick. Taylor to take. Quickly for Jeeba. Jeeba whipped one towards Decker at the back post. Too much on it, and it will be a Preston goal kick. Seven and a half plus stoppage time until the break in Dandenong. Going on into those dressing rooms will be two completely different vibes. Two completely different team talks and two completely different energies. The Thunder will be buoyed by their fast start. Preston can be buoyed by an improved 10 minutes to maybe, just maybe, think they can open the door, certainly get a goal back. But Albano's pocket's been picked by Yoshida. Him and Jiba work it out in the end. Rolls it back to Taylor. Now Jamie Young. It's it wide for Van Amerongen. Edwards dropped deepest. Van Amerongen drifted beyond Romero. Mametti hooked it up the line. Bozinovski won over against Clark. Lovely flick on from Schroen. Romero now. Smashing ball into Sir Dennis. Alessi did well the first time. Sir Dennis came away with it again. Tried to loft it towards Markowski. Jiba cleared. Clark can now go on the break. Jallo wants to break into the channel himself. Here is Hassan Jallo. Decker darting beyond him. Yoshida through the middle. Jallo trying to dance his way through. And in the end, runs into a Preston wall. Schroen. Switch for Valenti. Albano. Couldn't get beyond Jiba. Happy just to clip it down the line away from two lions who are hunting. Tchaikovsky for Schroen. That's a smashing ball out wide for Markowski. It's a heavy chest. Mametti stuck a leg out. Preston will reload again. Throw taken quickly. Kubalai. Tchaikovsky wide for Valenti. Romero wanted to twist and turn his way inside. Jason Romero trying to quicken things up for the Lions. Can they launch a comeback before half-time and get one back? That's a beautiful ball from Sir Dennis to clip it down the line. Markowski's driving, drifted it across the face for Albano. Kubalai cleared up. Kubalai had a go, and Jamie Young got down to make a super stop. Through bodies, his first piece of action. And two hands behind it. Jamie Young, who was crucial last week, of course, with a double save from a St Albans penalty to preserve a point for the Thunder in that frantic and epic final 10 minutes. So the Thunder have a free kick, but Valenti's in a bit of pain. Clutching his side, but happy to carry on. Quickly back on his feet, which is good to see. Young will take a Thunder free kick in the aftermath of all of that. Yoshida wanted to steal a march straight away. Young drilled it flat towards Clark. Bozinovski cut it out. Taylor for Mametti. Now Decker. Tried to dance his way beyond Negro. Markowski came across to try and help. Decker kept it. Quick throw for Clark, who managed to get away from Bozinovski. Preston man did well enough to win out in the end. Markowski clipped it inside. Edwards had a slide in. And it may be scrappy for the Lions at the moment, but they are gaining ground. Need to push this Thunder side back. Happy to have let them have it here. Valenti down the line. Albano. Schroen. Slide in. Albano came away with it from three Thunder shirts. Tried to dance beyond Jiba. Alessi stuck a leg out in support. Now the Preston throw. Valenti for Schroen. Click back for Tchaikovsky. Schroen. Alessi got up. Yoshida hustled down the line. Valenti didn't give it up. The Thunder will have it. So we have another goal before half-time. Started so quickly, it's simmered since then. Schroen and Albano combined. Schroen drifted well. Nearly worked out for Markowski. Romero got a yard. Took a deflection off Van Amerongen. Alessi got his head in the way and cleared. Finally, the Dutchman can hook it away. But another Preston throw as opportunities are starting to present themselves for the Lions. To see if they can graft the goal before half-time. Of course, the timing of if and when that first goal comes is so crucial. Markowski did wonderfully to win that. Van Amerongen clipped in. Another Preston throw who came into this game, of course, in terrific form. Unbeaten in 4 league games, but their travels have been the worrying standout for the Lions this season. Just the 1 win on the road. And 6 points picked up from a possible 18. So while they've made their home a fortress on their travels, the Lions have an area of improvement if they are to keep themselves within touching distance of the top 4. Trajczewski all the way back for Trenkowski. Trajczewski again. Bozinovski refines his keeper once more. That win did come at Melbourne Knights at a much needed time to snap a rotten run of form for the Lions, but since then travels haven't been kind to them. We head in to 2 minutes of stoppage time before the break in a dramatic first half of true disbelief, especially those opening 10 or 15 minutes. Stefan Negro a bit too overzealous in his challenge and will be the game's first booking. Will be a Thunder free kick. From this, can they take one for the road before half-time? Taylor for Young. Now Alessi. Jiba. Lovely ball into the channel for Jallo. Tried to touch it back inside for Yoshida, who made it work. Rolled it for Clark. Edwards. Taylor. Mehmeti's advance. Decker's also drifted wide. Kyle Taylor wanted to dance through them all. Edwards for Mehmeti. Decker. Mehmeti tried to hook one in, but via a bobble, hooks one out of play for a goal kick. And that may be that in terms of a frantic, a thrilling, a fizzling first 45 in Dandenong. A half of football where, despite settling in and despite having a few looks, Preston were pounced on early. Flicked on by Sir Dennis, trying to get one more goal before the break. Get themselves back into it. Van Amerongen put an end to any of it. And half-time, the Dandenong Thunder have themselves in dreamland. 3 up inside the first quarter of an hour. They hit Preston hard early, and although the Lions have grown into the game, haven't been able to chip away at that advantage. Half-time at George Andrews Reserve. It is Dandenong Thunder 3, Preston Lions 0. As we return from half-time in Dandenong. Those dressing rooms would cut to very different figures at the break. The Thunder would have been elated. Back into this. They still have 45 minutes, of course, to salvage something. But they are up against the clock, and they are up against a tall order if they are to rescue themselves. A super first half display from the hosts here at George Andrews. Sees them 3 goals up against Preston, who were well and truly shell-shocked in those opening 15 minutes. They were hit hard by a relentless Thunder side. 2 for Ben Jiba, 1 for Hassan Jallow. And 3-0 is how it stands. And of course, with the yellow cards issued at the end of the first half, my apologies, it was issued to Marcus Schroen instead of Stefan Negro. But Preston have an early opportunity. Sardenis rattled it against Jamie Young, who covered his near post well. Negro tried to keep it in. Ran out of room in the process, but that is the bright start that they are looking for. If they are to chip away, they need to land one soon. So Dennis hit that fiercely, and Jamie Young got his angles right. He lofts it long for Yoshida. Up with Valenti once again. Worked all the way out to Schroen. Now Markowski. So Dennis down the line, Van Amerongen at his back. And it will be an early Preston free kick in a position of promise. And this is a look for the Lions to begin the march, to open the door. Valenti and Romero stood over it. We've seen many a stunning free kick in Dandenong. It is Valenti's take, clips it towards the back post, and Young is there to claim. Tchaikovsky got a touch. Couldn't get too much contact, headed it into the floor, and Jamie Young is able to grasp it coolly. Alessi down the line for Yoshida, who turned wonderfully. Yoshida stabbed it for Jallow, but the flag's gone up. Hassan Jallow was nearly on his way. Just went a touch too early. Free kick taken quickly. Yoshida in. Valenti took a loose touch on the turn. Yoshida nipped in. And his heels were clipped when trying to go beyond. And there'll be a Thunder free kick. Jiba back for Alessi, all the way for Jamie Young. Alessi. Down the line for Jallow. Him and Tchaikovsky doing battle again. Preston's number 12 wins out on this occasion. It's Bozinovski. Tchaikovsky once more. Romero's dropped in. Got to switch it all the way out for Markowski, who did wonderfully well. Nodded it back for Negro. Bozinovski. It's a darting diagonal. Jiba read it well. Nodded it back for Jamie Young. Can coolly collect. And the second half starting at a much more relaxed pace than the first. Yoshida. Now Mehmeti. His 150th going to plan so far. As Van Amerongen for Young. They go out the other side for Alessi, who's been given a lot of room to drift into. Alessi continued and rolled it wide for Jiba. who stood one into a dangerous area. Bozinovski got his head in the way. Recycled to Clark, then Taylor. Decker. Wonderfully challenged by Markowski. Clark. Taylor. Yoshida. Wide for Decker. Has two for company. Took a loose touch. And Negro, with the help of Markowski, cleared it only as far as Clark. Now Edwards. Thought about it momentarily. Schroen cut his ball out to Jallo. Romero now has a chance to go on the break for Preston. Edwards in hot pursuit. Albano. Drifted beyond Jiba. Looked to hook it into the area. Cleared by Alessi. Now Romero. Kubalai. Mehmeti cut his ball out. Gave it to Yoshida. Jallo's on the march. Clark's through the middle. Jallo's continued his run down the channel. Face to face with Tchaikovsky. Goes back for Decker. Now Taylor. Decker once again. Has Negro to beat. Drifted inside. Markowski did well. Got his way down the line. Clipped it off Mehmeti and kept it. Negro for Kubalai. That's a smashing turn. Sharp pirouette and a beautiful ball. Over to Albano on the far side. Drifted beyond Jiba and fired over the bar. That's a golden chance for Preston. A beautiful bit of work from Kubalai. It's a sharp pirouette beyond Decker, a smashing switch. Albano, once he got beyond Jiba, he just couldn't keep his shot down and lofted it over the bar. That is a huge chance. Just 5 minutes into this second half for Preston to pull one back. As the Lions look to press high, Van Amerongen for Taylor. Markowski in hot pursuit. He turned away from him. Now Clark. Taylor once again. Mehmeti cleared his lines. Jallo's got round the back. Tchaikovsky tried to pull him away. Hassan Jallo for Yuki Yoshida. Danced inside and rolled his effort wide. Chances at both ends. Yuki Yoshida with a huge opportunity to make it 4 and get himself involved. Wonderful work from Hassan Jallo to get away from Tchaikovsky. It's the first time he's been able to spin in behind. Schroen took a loose touch. Yoshida tried to keep it alive and ran out of play in the process. Throw taken for Schroen quickly. Bozinovski. Now Stefan Negro. Bozinovski once again. Searching ball for Schroen. Yoshida came in on the press. Worked it wonderfully for Valenti. Schroen back for Tchaikovsky. Preston need to make this pressure count. Lovely 1-2. Albano tried to get it back from Kubalai. Alessi mopped up. Pressed by Sedenis. Didn't get a full clearance. Clark made it work. Jallo twisted in turn. Tried to find Decker on the far side. Negro passed by him immediately. Van Amerongen tried to tidy up. In doing so, pulled Kubalai back. Gave away a free kick, and Ties Van Amerongen for that kick will go into the book. game's second yellow card, and the Dutchman now will have to go 35 minutes plus stoppage time on a tightrope. Meantime, Albano for Valenti. That's a lovely bit of footwork from Romero. Skipped his way beyond Jiba. Edwards came for support. The Thunder duo do well, but Preston have a corner. And as Jason Romero wanders over to take it, those on the far side, as they were in the opening 15 minutes, in fine voice for their side. Romero's corner, that's a teasing ball. Young got a palm and was able to claim at the second attempt. It's a lovely loft from Romero. And Jamie Young dealt with it well enough. He speared it out for Decker. Took it down nicely. Now Clark has options arriving. Rolled it back to the edge for Decker. Appeals for handball, turn away. Tchaikovsky in the way. Jiba advancing. Another shout for handball, but Preston will have a goal kick. The Thunder looking to spring the break and add a fourth. Negro drifting, gave it away for Decker. Jallo's now got a march. Hassan Jallo fires, Tchaikovsky in the way. Negro mopped up for his early mistake. That's a lovely ball. Sir Dennis took that down beautifully. Now Romero. Worked it all the way across for Albano. Jiba did wonderfully. Recovery challenge, but another Preston corner. My apologies, it took a touch. It will be a Thunder goal kick. Van Amerongen quickly for Young. Decker tried to fire it for Jallo, who had to compete with Bozanovsky, who got up well not once but twice. Edward battled with Schroen. Thunder wanted offside against Sir Dennis. Flag stayed down, but he fouled Decker. Taylor to take a Thunder free kick. Jamie Young was screaming for it. Instead gave it to Clark. Weren't on the same wavelength, but Clark made up for it. Picked Markovsky's pocket. Now Edwards. Taylor. Mehmeti. Lofted it in the channel for Hassan Jallo. This time couldn't turn away from Tchaikovsky. And all the way back to his keeper. Trankowski goes long. Searching ball for Albano, who invited Jiba with his touch. Did well enough in the end. Schroen. Switch for Markovsky. Negro tried to overlap. Mehmeti now has an opportunity to maraud forward. Kubalai came across and marshalled Mehmeti well enough. Trankowski off his line to claim. Rolled it for Schroen. Wide for Valenti. There's a real urgency in the way that Preston have looked to go whenever the keeper's had it so far in this second half. Still yet to breach the Thunder goal. They have had an opportunity. Negro for Sir Dennis, who stayed on side. Van Amerongen dived in. And under a strong challenge, it will be a Preston Lions corner. Just behind play, Markovsky seems to have taken a bit of a knock. He looks all right. Is this Preston's opening? Right on the hour in Dandenong. Romero fizzed it to the back post. Thunder shirts got it away. Yoshida tried to clear it further. Jason Romero again. Tried to roll it into Albano's path. But just too much on it. Both sides down on the touchline, look to be prepping changes. Jay Romanovsky won't have to wait very long for his introduction. He comes on for Wade Decker, whose evening is done. That is Dandenong Thunder's first change. Somebody worked hard without reward. Decker makes way. Preston look to have a duo of substitutes waiting to come on. Luke Jego and Dom Felino. As young lofts long for Hassan Jallo. Him and Tchaikovsky do again. Jallo went down. Thunder appeals, nothing doing. Schroen for Tchaikovsky. Now Valenti. Albano tried to clip it round the corner for Romero. Gibra alert to the danger. Tchaikovsky. Schroen again. Lofted it in the channel. Gibra judged it well enough. Took a heavy touch. Kubalai. As Negro's advanced on the switch, that's a smashing ball to find him. Negro's teasing ball in. It's a flick wide and another opportunity which goes begging. And in fact, it will be a trio of changes that the Lions look to make as Connor Bell is freshly kitted as well. Schroen makes way for Luke Jego. Valenti off for Bell. And Felino enters the action as Markowski makes way also. 3 Preston changes. A reshuffle of the pack, a roll of the dice. They need 3 at least in half an hour to earn a point. Young for Alessi. And worked it down the line for Yoshida, who skipped beyond Felino. Wanted to pull him back. Yoshida still going. Stood it up towards Clark. Bozanovsky got in the way. Taylor. Lovely return from Alessi. Taylor, that's a stunning save. Tchaikovsky with a hand of the bar. Prevents a Thunder fourth. Mehmeti hooked it to the back post. Taylor tried to climb again. Jego comes away with it. And the Thunder do not add another. Tchaikovsky didn't know a lot about that. Taylor hit it with serious venom. But he did wonderfully to palm it onto the bar. The warning sign's still there. The danger on the break. As the Lions now look to make something work. Searched in towards Bell. Mehmeti cleared it well. Clark took it under. Wins a free kick and a bit of respite. Kubalai too eager to continue on with that press. Taylor's free kick for Mehmeti. Down the line for Romanovsky, his first involvement. Clark tried to refine him on a 1-2. Bozanovsky for Kubalai. Lovely searching ball to find Jego. Jallo did well on the defensive end. Edwards for Yoshida. Edwards again just hooked it into the channel. Tchaikovsky and Tchaikovsky. Happy to clear now, Bozanovsky. Stefan Negro. Lofted it down the line. Jego wanted to make Van Amerongen work. Hooked it for Romanovsky. Touch for Taylor. Romanovsky again. Clark. Kubalai relentless. Not once, not twice, 3 times. And able to come away with it. Negro's throw from Romero. Drifted beyond Jallo. Jason Romero. Wide for Foligno. Cleared by Giba. They have to go all the way back. The Thunder understand territory is the importance. And that defensive shape has shifted. It was a 4-3-3 in the first half, now 4-4-2. Those two banks wanting to be more compact. And make sure Preston earn their way through. It's recycled to Strankowski. That's a lovely drifting run from Bell. Strankowski. That's a searching ball down the line. Albano might give chase. Alessi was there to mop up. But it's safe to say since Foligno's come on, he's had a couple of teasing inventive lofts. Just put it into a dangerous channel. Somebody to try and work their way into. Romero's touch too heavy. Won it back away from Jallo. Edwards came away with it. Clark happy to return. Taylor. Twisted, turned, refound Alessi. Edwards. Now Taylor. Drifted his way beyond Jego, who tried to pull him back. Taylor advancing once more. Giba's down the line. Had two lines for company. Taylor for Giba. Clark on the edge. Yoshida across in support. Taylor. Yuki Yoshida, smashing ball. Taylor again. Rolled it for Romanovsky. Yoshida got a touch. Taylor trying to make the most of the scrap. Rolled it for Giba. Stood it up for Jallo. Back to it. Yoshida had a go. Trankowski made the save. Dandenong Thunder toyed with Preston. They couldn't get a meaningful strike again. That's twice in this second half. And the Lions may be able to go the other way. Defensive work from Albano. Edwards on defensive duty, mops up as the Thunder are prepping another substitution. "23 minutes. Plus stoppage time. As a yellow card has been brandished for Aidan Edwards, who took a touch too long to come off. He does eventually make way for Sevdim Ismaili. Second Dandenong Thunder change. Aidan Edwards partnered Taylor well in midfield this evening. That double pivot. Able to break up a lot of Preston play and release Yoshida on the break. So the Lions now have an opportunity to get through. Bozinovski for Trakovski. Kubalai. Foligno tried to work his way. Yoshida was the one who picked his pocket. Foligno stayed with the number 7, but the Thunder have a throw. This is a second half where, for all their might and for all their persistence, Preston have created only a couple of looks. The Thunder defence has been resolute, and they've been able to go on the break a couple of times themselves as Bell had a stumble. Mehmeti in a bit too overzealously. Preston have a free kick. Tchaikovsky in a hurry to take it. Drilled it for Albano. Face to face with Giba. Tried to skip his way beyond. But once again, the Thunder right back did his job. Cleared it only as far as Foligno. That's a teasing whip. Bell let it run for Negro. Kept it alive. Now Jego. Negro once more. Romanovsky in. Preston throw deep in Thunder territory. Bell's touch, back for Negro. Lovely 1-2. Bell with a darting ball in. Alessi again up to clear. Clark tried to help it on its way. Romanovsky took it down. Lumped it towards Jallo. Kubalai came across and had to recycle all the way for Tchaikovsky. Now Jago. Trying to search it for Bell. Van Amerongen did well. Ismaili slid in. Quick 1-2 between him and Jallo. Wants to release Romanovsky, who has Negro for company. Kubalai comes across in support. Romanovsky back for Ismaili. Now Taylor, who's got Yuki Yoshida with a yard of space. Yoshida against Foligno, flashed across the face. Trankowski claimed coolly. Wanted to distribute for Bell. Mehmeti up wonderfully.
As a reminder, on behalf of Football Victoria, the following degress guidelines will take place. At the conclusion of half-time,
Romero.
all gates will be closed. There will be no exit allowed unless there is an emergency.
Bozinovsky.
Spectators are reminded that the conclusion of the final whistle, Preston supporters at the Preston end will be asked
Wide
to vacate the venue within 15 minutes of
for
the
Negro.
whistle.
Down the line for Jago, searching for Bell. Alessi taking no chances, mopped it up.
Dandenong Thunder section will be asked to stay as their gates will be closed till at least 20 minutes past the final whistle. Hope you enjoy the game and please follow the code of Cobra.
As there's a stoppage as Luke Jago is down. And in need of some treatment. This is not a lovely sight to see Luke Jago down, a player of immense talent, immense ability. And having seen him take that armband off, it is that Luke Jago will not continue tonight. That is a horrible shame. Having just come on. Preston's number 8 has to make way through injury. Precautionary or not, he can't continue. And well, the hope, of course, is that it's nothing serious. Brandon Loughton on in his place. And his first involvement is to fire one into the box. That's a beauty of a ball. Jiba just dropped it down. Yoshida hooked it clear. Fierce whip from Lawton. His throwing's taken quickly. Trankowski. Lofted it into the channel for Albano, who took that down wonderfully. Once again trying to drift beyond Jiba. Fired to the near post. Alessi hooked it high. Went to head away his second effort. Romero took it down. Twisted his way. Taylor did well to stick a leg in. Yoshida down the line for Jallo. Turned away. Yoshida couldn't take it under. Otherwise he was through clean. Romero with a touch. And Preston work it back. They might have a goal. Or a look. And Alessi slid in well, but the offside flag was raised. It would not have mattered anyway. But that is the kind of invention that the Lions have lacked at times this evening. Just that ability to play that killer ball. The offside trap for the Thunder has worked well. And has really hurt Preston in their advances forward. They've been caught beyond the last man many a time, and the coaching staff will not be happy about that in the week. As Jiba turns away from Albano. Has options left, right and inside. Albano dives in. And for that challenge will go into the book. As things boil over a bit in Dandenong. Some rather unsavoury scenes. That was a late and wild challenge from Albano on Ben Jeeba. He makes his way into the book, and as I'm sure you can hear, those in red and black certainly wanted a different colour. Apologies for any of that you may have heard. And for a game which hasn't really been sizzling or simmering, it just sort of boiled over out of nowhere. Preston haven't let the frustration of this evening show up until that moment. That was rash. And it is a frustrated Albano who lunged in. Preston frustrations showing. Taylor's free kick for Jeeba, who's back on his feet. Tried to turn his way again. Romero had a foot in this time. Yoshida lost out to Jason Romero, who wants to drive. Kubalai gives it back to him. Romero has an opportunity to break. Ismaili holds him up. Look for it. That's a smashing switch to find Negro, who has Romanovsky to beat. Clipped it inside for Connor Bell. Out wide to Lawton. Negro continued his run. Tried to stab it into the middle. Van Amerongen got it away. Taylor with some lovely footwork to skip beyond any pressure from the Lions. Gets the Thunder clear. Now Romanovsky has Lawton for company. Romanovsky tries to go all the way round him. Lawton calmly back for Bozanovsky. He clicks for Kubalai. Switching ball for Foligno. And in that skirmish, I'm hearing that Daniel Alessi has gone into the book, as Romero has a shot from range. And I think for Preston that may sum up the evening. It would have been spectacular had it nestled in that corner, but nothing has gone their way tonight from the very first whistle. And Jason Romero's effort, indicative of a night that Preston would certainly like to forget. They will need to forget it in a hurry, as well as they go to Hume next week in a massive game. They then are, of course, at home to Dandenong City, so the big games thick and fast before they travel to Altona. Then they host Heidelberg before going to the Lakeside to play South Melbourne. So 4 of 5 for Preston. Truly season-defining games. Massive for the Lions. Tonight's loss as well, as it would seem to be if it stays this way. In addition to that, and for the Thunder, they've got 2 visits to Green Gully, a cup game in the week and then a league game next weekend before hosting Hume. And to round out the month of May, they head to the other side of town to take on Dandenong City in the derby before welcoming Altona back here to kick off June. 5 big games upcoming, massive weeks in the NPL calendar ahead. This is where the table starts to take shape. Can Preston claw back a consolation? Alessi putting an end to an Albano gallop forward. As we approach the final 10 minutes plus stoppage time in Dandenong. What a huge, huge win, a momentous win this would be for the Thunder. If it does stay like this, they would move second, just 2 points off Heidelberg, who are at the top of the tree, and of course would leapfrog Avondale would pull momentarily clear of Oakley, who play tomorrow night. And it would continue on the strong home form they have this season, the strong season they've had. Halfway through, but Preston might have the opportunity for a goal back. Jamie Young gathered, Connor Bell had a shot, slipped as he hit it, and that may have taken some of the sting out of it. As Young can get his palms around it, it may have been intended for Albano in the end. He goes short for Ismaili, now Van Amerongen. Mehmeti. Down the line and into touch via a Preston boot. It's been a 150 if he would well and truly remember. For Mehmeti, who's had a stellar season on the left side of that Thunder defence. Taylor gives it away, Negro keeps it in. It's worked out to Jason Romero, thought about a shot the first time, had it on the second. Alessi in the way, Preston corner. Those next two games in particular for the Lions are of huge importance, as Hume and Dandenong City are the two sides around them in the table. And Green Gully also gaining ground after they put in a stellar performance against Avondale last night. Preston corner taken, flung in, Van Amerongen flicked it over, and they will reload to do it all again. But two must-wins in the finals hunt, and of course to establish themselves as away from that chasing pack. They can still eye a top four finish. There is a lot of football left to be played. Tonight was a huge chance to get back in the title picture. They may still have one. Lawton had a look. Deflected wide and out of danger. Thunder bodies in the way. Romanovsky hustled Foligno off it. For those in red and black, on the other hand, this evening could not have gone any better. They hit hard out of the blocks. A massive crowd in tonight at George Andrews. And they have showed up for their supporters. And since then have exercised a grip on this game. They ran away with it at the start, and so far at least have not let Preston back in. Romero and Albano trying to change that. It's lofted towards the back post. Mehmeti up with Bell, who did well. Taylor the beneficiary. Tchaikovsky with a heavy challenge. Taylor through not one dangle but two, and wins a free kick. Jamie Young immediately laid claim to it. If anything but to get the Thunder a few more yards up the park. Mehmeti in the channel for Clark, who might be able to get away from Bozanovsky. Had to nod it down and was pressed. Clark hot on his heels. Negro with a lovely back heel for Lawton. Preston worked that wonderfully. Bozanovsky down the line. Van Amerongen got in. Sedenes with him. It will be a Thunder free kick. That little sequence is the kind of football Preston have been suffocated out of and starved of tonight. There's Ties Van Amerongen just takes a moment before finally getting back to his feet. Mehmeti's free kick. Clipped in towards Clark, who challenged. Yoshida had two lines to beat. Ismaili. For Clark once more. Yoshida, the flag stayed down. Danced his way beyond two, did Yoshida. Wonderful footwork, but Negro stayed with him all the way. Came away with it, now cleared his lines. Down to Bell, that was a lovely clip. Bell gave it away. Ismaili wants to launch down the left-hand side himself. Lawton. For Bell, who took it down. Hooked it away. So Dennis will get Shea, but Young mopped it up for Van Amerongen. Now all the way back for Jamie Young. Mehmeti. Van Amerongen once more. Mehmeti lofted it in the Jallow direction. Again, he's been a handful all evening. Tchaikovsky did well. Got it back from Lawton. Now Romero. Jay Romero dancing his way beyond Chiba. Stands it up against Yoshida. Worked it all the way out for Kubalai. Worked it for Negro. Stood it up to a dangerous area. Unless he met it, thumped it clear. Tchaikovsky. Lawton. Lawton dancing his way through. A lovely run. And via a deflection wins a Preston corner. Can they salvage some pride to take with them? Preston corner, maybe a chance to give those who have travelled down from the north something to cheer about. Looped in long. Tchaikovsky came to head it. The Thunder will have a goal kick as a result. Young for Mehmeti. Back for Jamie Young, who nearly got that clip all wrong. Mehmeti hustled. There will be a Thunder free kick. In those final knockings, the Thunder will make one change. Their third again for the evening. Lirim El Marzi. On for Hassan Jallow. Just to shore things up and see it out. The Thunder's top scorer makes way. He was back on the score sheet again after a week off. Hassan Jallow's 8th for the season. He propelled this side. It was the third of 3 in that quarter of an hour blitz. But so far is the period that decides this game. It would require a Preston miracle to get anything out of it. Negro robbed of it by Romanovsky. Worked it wide for Yoshida. The Thunder may not quite be done yet. Taylor. Yoshida. Taylor once again. Bozanovsky came across. Yuki Yoshida. Hold it by the corner. Taylor taking some time out of it. It's Romanovsky for Taylor. Lovely ball. All the way out for Ismaili to go first time. Dragged his shot well wide, though it matters not. A night where they've been wonderful from the start. Preston, of course, will ask those questions of what happened in that early quarter of an hour. I'm sure the inquest will be lengthy in the week. With vital games ahead. As Clark went down under Lawton's challenge, nothing doing, and Yoshida came away with it. Lawton stuck a leg out this time. There will be a decision to make. And instead it is Kublai who goes into the book. It was his leg on Yuki Yoshida. Which brought him down. And they have a free kick, the Thunder, to maybe take one for the road as we enter 3 minutes of stoppage time. To round out an evening where Dandenong Thunder have been dominant. Taylor's free kick. Yoshida, Ismaili. Taylor once again. Down the line for Ismaili. Thunder protest waved away. Down the line, and Daniel Alessi this time will just hold it all up. Needs to be a touch cautious. He would not want to miss next week. It's worked wide for Negro. To go beyond Romanovski. Back for Bozinovski. Now Lawton. Negro, Romero. Lovely turn away from Taylor. Clark covered off his venture inside. Lawton, who's looked lively since coming on. Good minutes in the tank for him. A couple of bright teasing crosses. A nice few runs as Preston might want to take one for the road. Romero might have that opportunity. Via a Thunder deflection, Jamie Young is happy to smother that effort. And then put it out of play, as there may be more treatment needed for the Preston Lions. They would not want another injury for this evening to get any worse. Sedenes. Down under the challenge he wore. Just clutching for a second, but he's all back on his feet. Thankfully, for a Preston perspective, it's not another impromptu substitution they have to make. Of course, Luke Jego had to make way. We hope he's all right as Young lofts it long. Yoshida chests it down. Tried to flick his way through a pack of Lions. Final seconds tick away. Preston looking for one on the road. Van Amerongen. Romero won it up against Clark. Taylor came away with it. Immediately looking for Romanovski and the corner, you would assume. Instead, it's worked back to Taylor. It's Kubalai for company. Romanovski, Yoshida. Face to face with Negro, trying to just soak up those final seconds. And that will be that. A Dandenong Thunder statement made. They waited a decade and a half for Preston to come to town once again. And for those who bundled in their droves, the Thunder put on a show, flew out the blocks and hit 3 in a quarter of an hour, and that was all that needed to be done. The Lions never recovered from the early Thunder foray. Well and truly thunderstruck, and though they tried, they couldn't breach the Thunder defence. As Dandenong Thunder move within 2 points of Heidelberg in the lead, Preston now must go back to the drawing board for a couple of crucial weeks ahead to keep their chances of a top 4 finish, and of course the finals push well and truly in their hands. But full time at George Andrews Reserve, Dandenong Thunder 3, Preston Lions 0.
Final scores of George Andrews Reserve.